Vampires, myth or reality? Where does this legend originate? Today, we will dive into the history of vampires, explore their origins, and tell a chilling story that still haunts people to this day. The first mentions of blood-drinking creatures appeared in Mesopotamia, where tales spoke of demons that drank the blood of infants. In Greece, there were Lamia and Empusa, female demons that drained life energy. In China, legends spoke of Jiangxi, reanimated corpses that fed on the life force of the living. In Europe, people believed vampires passed on their curse through a bite. In Slavic mythology, there were upurs, undead beings that fed on the blood and energy of the living. During the Middle Ages, the fear of vampires reached its peak. People believed diseases and epidemics were caused by the unclean rising from their graves. Vlad Tepes, also known as Dracula, became a symbol of cruelty and inspired numerous vampire stories. Countess Bathory, who was said to have bathed in the blood of young girls, fueled the fear of immortal monsters. People used wooden stakes, garlic, and holy water to protect themselves from vampires. In the 19th century, vampire stories became popular in literature, especially after the release of Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. Now, listen to the legend. In an old castle on the outskirts of Romania, no one had lived for many years. People avoided it as ancient rumors spoke of a cursed blood drinker lurking inside. One day, a traveler named Victor arrived in a nearby village. He did not believe in superstitions and decided to explore the castle. Inside, he found an old journal that spoke of the castle's owner, Lord Adrian, who had been cursed for his sins. He thirsted for blood but despised himself for it. According to the writings, there was a way to break the curse. If a vampire drank the blood of someone willing to sacrifice themselves voluntarily, his soul would be freed. Victor was skeptical, but suddenly he heard a whisper in the darkness. From the shadows emerged a tall, gaunt man with pale skin. "You found my journal. Now you know my story," he said. It was Adrian himself. Victor realized he was standing before a real vampire. But instead of attacking, the creature simply gazed at him with sorrow. "I'm so tired, free me," Adrian whispered. But Victor was not ready to give up his blood. He grabbed a dagger, drew a protective symbol on the floor, and began reciting a banishment spell. The vampire screamed, light filled the room, and Adrian turned to dust. A few days later, Victor was found at the gates of the castle. He remembered nothing. His skin was pale, and the light from the windows burned his eyes. Perhaps vampires have not disappeared, but have simply learned to hide among us. Or did Victor become one of them? Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.